It's kind of like a love-hate relationship when I go home, but when it comes to maintaining who I am, luckily, that's always what it's been, whether I loved it or not. Like, I was always, again, different. My name is Jazzmyne Jay. I am a content creator and someone just trying to figure it out. I am originally from Peru, Illinois. Very small little town, born and raised there. It's about 2 hours from Chicago. Very much like you're driving through, you'd miss it if you blink too long. Cornfields, people farm and stuff. Yeah, it was very different from the life that I live right now. Growing up, I have, my mom is white, my dad is black, and this area that I grew up in was honestly very, very white and small and long straight hair, and that is just not what I brought to the table. And I think from a young age I had to learn that I was different, but that my differentness was not something to be looked down upon. One of the first memories that I have as a child is literally my parents telling me, like, you are not a follower, you are a leader. If something wrong is happening, you say something. It's like, now that I'm in therapy, it was a lot of pressure. But also something that I really, really do thank my parents for is that mindset. Leaving my small town, it was like it was never an option for me to stay there. Like, literally never did I think, like, I'm gonna have a family here. It's so weird to think about now that I'm like moving on into my like adult life and making steps like that. It was never an option for me to stay. And I have so many friends, you know, obviously, that have stayed there and made their lives, but that was just never something for me. I knew even at least I would be going 2 hours away to Chicago where there was so much more diversity, but then I ended up like so many more miles away in LA. There's like two parts of going home that really, really kind of like shake me to my core. One is like, I kind of sometimes feel like I've taken like a step back in a time machine. You know, things are so slow. You can literally go somewhere. I was literally just home last week and I went to a park and didn't see anybody for over an hour. And that is wild to me. I loved it. Like, I was walking around in the cemetery at like 10 at night. No one around. I was just free. So I do love that aspect now. But when I go home now, I think I also tap into a little bit of a different part of me, which obviously I'm there experiencing my home and kind of understanding what this has done to me positively and negatively. So it's a lot in my mind of like, you know, you're kind of back to a place that kind of a little bit hurt you, you know, and I've had to grow from that, but also this has made me what I am as well. So it's kind of like a love-hate relationship when I go home, but when it comes to maintaining who I am, luckily, that's always what it's been, whether I loved it or not. Like, I was always, again, different. So whether I leaned into it or not, it was gonna happen. So I feel like now I just truly believe in myself to be who I am. And when I go home, I'll wear, you know, whatever outfits that, you know, look regular in LA, but back home look a little different. I'm like, I don't care. You're gonna notice me anyway. That's the thing. So like, why sit here and try to make myself like smaller for the comfort of other people? When I go home, I lean into like letting my emotional self come to the table and be there, and also letting like my childhood self. I'm big into my childhood self right now. It's been my focus of therapy for like the past year, and healing a lot of childhood trauma, which unfortunately comes with when I go back home. Like the scene is right there, you know, but I'm rewriting it. So I feel like it's a little, you know, it's emotional and it's a lot to go through, but I always end with like, that's not me anymore. The biggest piece of advice I would give to anybody visiting their small hometown is to set your boundaries. And sometimes that means like, you know, not staying with a certain family member, or making sure that like you have a certain amount of time by yourself, or like time to go on a walk, or just like process things. Don't give that up because you're back into this vibe of like what you had in childhood. Like remember your boundaries, remember you are older and wiser and you deserve time and space and honestly time to process.